South Florida Music Magazine is here today to talk about Jayler, a band based in the UK and formed around 2021, 2022. And they're getting ready to release their debut album titled Voices Unheard. Here to talk about that album as well as more about Jayler is the lead vocalist, James Bartholomew, and the guitarist, Tyler Aerosmith.
That's us.
And thank you so much again for joining.
And we have the bass on Lindsay, bass player.
I'm a low bass player. Yeah, that's Ricky, right? It was Ricky. Okay, so tell us about the new album. What inspired Voices Unheard?
Nothing particular inspired us to do this album. More or less, we wanted to do it. There wasn't anything in particular that was like, well, let's just do it. We just all really wanted to release something new, and because we released the EP, and that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think we just all wanted to really release something. That was literally all.
Yeah, ever since we released the EP, I mean, the plan was always we're going to do an album next. We wanted to do it earlier on, and there was an attempt to do that, which didn't really work out very well. But we felt like now was the right time to do it. We're in our position, we got the right people behind us, and that's what really made the deal for us, and that's we wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great album. We're listening to it. Your song "Over the Mountain" is about people getting over something, and we read that it also inspired the album title. How did that come about? What inspired all that?
For that song, I just wanted to write something which was quite inspiring and uplifting. So the words were kind of like just talking about the journey over this mountain. I guess it's a bit about the band as well. So yeah, that's what it's kind of about. Just trying to uplift people and trying to get over something in their life. It could be a bad relationship. It could be addiction to drugs, or anything that's holding them back and getting to where they need to be. So that's what Over Mountain's about. And the album name.
Yeah,
that's a
many iterations.
Yeah, so there was a lot of different names we kind of thought about and thrown across each other. But we think we were in Nashville doing like a press thing.
Yeah.
And we still didn't have a name, but it had all been recorded. And I was having a piss, and I was just humming the lyrics in my head. And then I got to the Over the Mountain, the chorus, and I was like, Voices Unheard. And I was like, that's it. I literally shouted to Tyler, me and him were sharing a room. I got it. I went, I got it. And he went, you what? And I was like, I've got the name for the album. And he goes, go on. And I went, Voices Unheard. And he went,
yeah.
I
think using We Are the Voices of the Unheard is great, and then we kept chopping it in different ways.
Yeah.
But we thought the nice, short, sweet Voices Unheard. I think that gets.
Then we went.
Gets it across.
Yeah, so it's like Voices Unheard or Unheard Voice.
Yeah, Voices of the Unheard.
Yeah, Voices. It went through different iterations, but that was it.
Yeah,
it's like yes.
Well, that was perfect, right? That worked out really well. Also, your song that you just have out, Down Below. With the video, you hear that bluesy 70 influence metal, and it really showed the band's excellent musicianship, how you guys were getting into it. It was awesome. And we read that it was written about painful emotion. What would you say inspired that song?
I don't think you can say all of it.
Right, so I could be fun about it. I just had a really bad relationship. A lot of cheating, a lot of misleading, a lot of lies were told.
Not him.
Not by me. No, by this woman. So
I'm just built up the emotion. Very raw. When we were doing the vocal takes, James was in there recording. It was very, very raw.
Yeah.
And our producer George really tried to get out of it. Really rolled him up.
Yeah, out of nowhere, I get airdropped on my phone a screenshot of my ex's profile picture on Instagram, and I was like, right, that's it.
And that was the take.
That was the take. The take here on the album, it was me staring at this phone, giving it all the beat.
Yeah. So that's you can't get much more raw emotion.
No, you can't. It's just about a painful relationship or a painful breakup. I think we actually did a TikTok video to that, and they said no Taylor Swift breakup song. And I was just like, that's my favorite reel. Yeah.
So Riverboat Queen is, it also has a retro rock sound and style, including your clothes in the video, and your bio states it was written for your management team, which is cool considering sometimes artists don't have the best relationship with their management team. So what really prompted you to write this song for them?
I think nothing prompted it. I think as I was writing the lyrics, it was like kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
It came together.
It came together, and it was like I didn't think about it in that way.
It was going on at the time that you were writing it, where we were all kind of kicking off and we were just getting into management. So it all happened around the same time. So it was one of those things where, inspiration was in the air.
I've got the word subconsciously writing down these lyrics. And when I finished them, I looked back and I was like, what's this song even about? And it clicked and I was like, oh, that's about Adam and Lisa. And I was like, right, that's cool. But the funny thing about that story, about that song is I wasn't at the studio and I asked for a ballad and I was expecting pianos.
I
had lovely lyrics for a ballad. And I'd let them write a song and then they came back with Riverboat Queen. I was like, that's not a ballad.
I called it the Ballad of James. It's not a ballad.
And I was like, but they sold me on it. I was like, no, just listen to it. And we did a key change, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think it took me about 2 weeks to be happy with it, and I'd mix it myself and like hear how it would sound, and then we got in the third week, and we're like, all right, that's our first single. But let's get that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came out really well. It's a great song. I mean, all of them have been all 11. What would you say inspires your music when you write? I know you all partake in that.
Carson. A lot. I think life.
Yeah, James is the main lyricist of the band. We all go into the studio and we do our own things. Like, I might come up with a riff, or the other two lads play guitar as well, Ricky and Ed. So, anyone can come up with a song and it can be like the basis of an idea, and it can, become a full song. But as far as kind of like the imagery and the actual lyrics, that's 99% of the time.
Nothing like particularly inspires us. I think just life, and emotions and everything that I go through. So like, the breakups or meeting Adam and Lisa and the management and, saying goodbye to people. That's because I look up at people like John Denver, Bob Dylan, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, so loads of folk guys who can tell a story through their music. So I think storytelling is a big part, and you've got to have a somewhat interesting life to tell a story. And I've had a decent one so far. So yeah, just kind of expressing how I feel about certain things. That's like the main inspiration. But looks wise, sound wise, it's many things, because we're all into different genres of music. Like I said, folk, country, Ricky's into reggae and jazz. Ed's also into jazz and big band and disco. Todd is into 80s hair metal. So we've all got our own different sounds. And I think what came together is, I'm not going to say unique, because we do sound like other bands, but it's unique in the sense of not many bands are doing it today. So that's what makes it unique.
Yeah, we also don't have just like one sound.
Yeah.
So like the debut album isn't just a rock album, because we have tried to pack as many of our influences into it, just to show all the different light and shade of the band and the different influences. We thought it was quite important to do that for our debut, and then in the future we want to kind of explore that a bit more. So more to come. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That was I was very impressed when I saw that video. I thought, wow, this is really cool. This is very fresh, and you can see those 70s, 80s influences. But what would you say inspired you both to become musicians? I know in the bio, I love the stories, which I want you to elaborate on, about, you were just mentioning John Denver and, Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, those influences. And then you went back and kind of discovered your own 80s or, retro, not really retro, but I guess your rock roots with blues and everything. And Tyler, your story is great as well with your nan and granddad, your dad taking you to the AC/DC concert at Wembley, and then your nan and granddad bought the guitar, and then your grandfather helped you build a Frankenstrat, which you got to tell that story.
Yes.
So go ahead and tell us all about those stories. They're awesome.
So, do you want me to go first? Okay. So like the first time I ever like fell in love with music and realized there's more to music than just, you know, people singing, and it's not just a performance, so there's emotion to it. I was quite early on, I was about 8 or 9 years of age, and my nan showed me how to put a record on a record player, and the first thing I ever played was John Denver live at the Universal Amphitheatre, and The Music Is You came on. I just remember it was like the first time you played, it was about a minute or something, and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's awesome. And I always had other inspirations of being a performer from people like Michael Jackson and Elvis. They were the top guys. But what made me pick up guitar was that If You Want Blood music video by AC/DC, with the SG goes through Angus's stomach. And I was just like, yeah, that's it. That's what I want. And then, so discovering those bands. My dad showed me Def Leppard and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and all that. And then I kind of looked at who their inspirations were, and then whose their inspirations were. And it came down to roots music again, where I kind of started. And I was like, okay, it's weird to hear that Led Zeppelin were inspired by Bob Dylan or something like that. But it's, you know, you can hear it. So yeah, that's kind of, that's mine.
Yeah, and like for me, as far back as I can remember, I've always heard of rock music in the house. You know, if pop radio was on, my dad would go over and turn the dial and turn it over to the rock channel. You know, there's no pop music in the house, and you know, it didn't have the lullabies or nursery rhymes sung to me. You know, my dad would put the radio on, put AC/DC on. So yeah, that's always been around me, and you know, from a young age, obviously, my dad's been so into. I mean, AC/DC is his favorite band, so you know, he's always been into it. And you know, my grandfather, I remember him showing me Pink Floyd for the first time, and that really was like mind blowing to hear that. And so yeah, I think at the age of, I would have been around 10 years old, my dad took me to my first AC/DC concert at Wembley. I'd only really seen tribute bands before that, so to go to such a big stadium and to see, I mean, it was incredible. It was life changing. You know, it was huge, and I think from that day, it really put that in my head as, okay, that's cool. I want to be a part of this in some way. And, you know, at first I didn't really show too much interest in the guitar. But yeah, it was when my grandparents took me to, I think it was just some like market in town, and there was acoustic guitar on the wall, and it was just like, really like, look at that, and I'd love to be able to play it. And they're like, well, that's something you want to do. You know, we will get you as a present. So I think I had 3 lessons with that acoustic guitar, and I was like, yeah, but I want to play electric now. So very quickly the acoustic went down, and then I picked up the guitar and put it into amp.
Now I'm making him pick up the acoustic.
Yes.
I did
I
see
think I all the way back.
The reverse now.
Yes.
and I'll keep
I think as I've progressed as well, like, obviously I went to different like phases of, obviously AC/DC, Angus Young was like the first big inspiration, and then Eddie Van Halen, as we said, of making the Frankenstrat. So I've been through quite a few inspirations, but yeah, I think as like during about the start of Jayler was when I started to listen to more earlier rock, like from the 60s, the blues music, and that's that just worked well, especially when we were doing the covers at first, trying to figure out what songs we wanted to play. Although yes, I would do a bit of a shreddy Eddie Van Halen solo in the pub. You know, we moved away from that and tried to keep it a bit more like traditional. I do a few solos. I don't think I do any tapping.
No,
I think I did one tap once. Not anymore.
It also mentioned in your bio that you guys, you know, when you finally were connected, that you bonded over a Gibson.
I was poor, and I didn't have money for a Gibson. I was saving up at the time, and Tyler walked in. It was the first time I ever played a Gibson guitar, touched one, and it was yours.
Yes. I thought you played Jeans.
No.
Oh, right.
No, that was after.
Oh, bloody hell.
He brought it once, and then I was like, oh, that's cool. Didn't let me touch it, though. He brought it.
You got half that?
Exactly.
But what made you decide to, I mean, I think the name was really cool. Lindsay and I were talking about that. I'm assuming it's James and Tyler. Is that how we got Jayler?
Yeah, that was the original story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it started from. And it was just like, I'm sure you've heard it a lot of times in the past with the bands. It's like, it just started as kind of like a jokey thing, just like a placeholder. We always said, oh, don't worry, we'll change it eventually. Because it was literally just, we're doing open mic nights with James was going as the name Jay on the scene at the time, it was Tyler. And we just got fun of putting both our names on the chalkboard, once we put down. And I think my dad mentioned it. And so we just carried on putting Jayler down. And then, you know, the gig posters started coming in with the logo. I will change it eventually. People started getting T-shirts printed. I should probably change that name. And then eventually it's like...
Then the only thing we changed was the lightning bolt.
Yeah, we eventually, because it did have a lightning bolt separating Jay and Ler, but that went, and with the release of REP, because that for us was like, okay, we're no longer just like a pub cover band, so obviously the AC/DC influence with the lightning bolt. We're doing our own music now, and also it's not just James and Tyler, it's for us, and also it's the full community behind it. You know, it's our supporters, our community, the four of us in the band. So yeah, we it was very important for us to not split that up and keep it as one thing.
Oh, that's very, very cool. People like that. Okay, Lindsay, you have a question?
Yeah, so you just toured with Guns N' Roses and Lynyrd Skynyrd in Brazil, as well as will be special guests to Sammy Hagar and Deep Purple in the UK. And it looks like you're supporting Deep Purple at Royal Albert Hall. How does this motivate you all playing with what was stated as some of your influences?
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, there's obviously, there's some nerves.
There's some nerves, and like, I mean, with the Lynyrd Skynyrd, they're just like gods. You know?
Yeah.
And the same with Guns N' Roses, we didn't get to speak to those guys. We got to speak to Lynyrd Skynyrd quite a lot, and they were really friendly.
Yeah, there's this strange feeling whenever you go like backstage to a festival, and even when we were at our hotel, I remember walking down and there was Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm, and you know, you just like you go up to someone like, oh shit, you know, that's kind of a big deal, and then you start talking to them, and then you realise that they're just real people. Yeah, they are just real people, and you start talking, and it's great to see that bands, you know, people who are that popular respect fellow musicians for who they are. And so yeah, we had a great time. You know, we spoke about some cool stories together. But yeah, the stuff we got coming up, I mean, obviously Van Halen fan here, so Sammy Hagar, fantastic. I love Joseph Giuliani, obviously Michael Anthony, and Kenny Aronoff from the band as well. I think he's got mates of Adam on manager, so that'll be fun. And then Deep Purple, that's like, I mean, I think every guitar player has played Smoke on the Water once in their life. I mean, it's like one of the most iconic bands of all time. And the Royal Albert Hall, that's the last show of that tour. So that's going to be a very nice way.
I'm glad it is, because if that was the first night of the tour, nothing would compare.
What a way to finish it.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we can see tour dates in the UK. What can fans look forward to with your shows?
a lot of skin, a lot of hair,
Yeah.
a lot of vibes, good vibes, bad vibes, all the vibes.
We're bringing all bad vibes.
Bringing all the vibes. I mean, there's bad juju about
So bringing all the vibes, the emotion, the passion. But really, we just want to get out there, and we want to play as much as we possibly can in front of
as many people as we can.
In front of our community.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you know, we love our community, and obviously we have people that all the time ask us to play in various places around the world, and you know, we're just kind of starting out just to release that debut album, so we promise all of our fans that we will play everywhere we possibly can. So bear with us.
We're just babies, man. Yeah, we're just boys at the end of the day.
We're just boys.
We're not men yet, so it comes.
It's okay. That's okay. Now, are you guys planning on any dates in the States, in the U.S., Florida, maybe?
Yeah, we'd absolutely love to. Yeah, it's something we're working on.
There's a few things on the table.
Yeah, we were very close to. We were trying to get out this year, and it was very close, but unfortunately, we just weren't able to make that work. But we are constantly looking for things that we can do to get out there. I would say, you know, we're just starting out. It's expensive, but we're going to do Europe first. We're going to see how that goes, and we're going to try our best next year to get out there.
You never know, the band might be over by the end of this Deep Purple tour.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
massive bill.
Yeah, first time we're going to be in a tour bus. It's close quarters for about 6 weeks, 2.5 months. So yes, we don't.
Oh, for now.
Oh, is it a month and a half? Oh, I've
Got 6 weeks.
I don't know.
We'll have more life stories to write about. There you go.
Exactly. Also,
Is there anything else that fans can look forward to coming from Jayler?
Well, we've got the album coming out on the 29th of May, which is Voices Unheard. In the UK, we're doing the album release shows. Over in the States, you can purchase the black vinyl, I believe, which is going with a exclusive signed insert, I'm pretty sure. Going for the American market. So that's great. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled, and as soon as we announce something over, hopefully near you, we hope to see you at a show.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. But was there anything you wanted to add, or I think we pretty much hit everything. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure to meet you, and looking forward to the album release on the 29th, like you said, and seeing any upcoming shows. And the shows, Lindsay will be able to, she's in the UK, so
Yeah.
oh my God, it's glorious.
So get up.
sit out there and see it. But thank you again, and you guys take care, and we'll see you soon. And for SFL Music Magazine, I'm Lori and Lindsay, and we'll see everybody soon. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.